It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Welcome, everybody. This is 2K Sports with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Celtics out in Boston. And the Celtics finding themselves really sliding recently. Just one win over the last 7 games. They're not happy with how they're playing, looking to make amends tonight. One of the guys we'll be seeing tonight is Al Horford. He's been an all-star before, not really a household name, though. Does he get the underrated tag from you, Shaq?
Yeah, you know, he's never been the center of attention on his teams, even back in his college days at Florida. But very much a blue-collar post player. He brings it every night.
Well, if you're an NBA player or an NBA fan, you know, that really pays attention to the game, you know Al Horford and you know his abilities. But if you're a casual fan, I would say, yes, he is underrated to the casual fan, the people who kind of check in on just on the weekends. I would say they don't know how good he really is.
Very consistent, huh?
Oh, consistency is his middle name. It's Al Consistency Horford.
That's true, Shaq. You can look it up. That does it for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
It's the home of the Celtics here in Boston as 2K Sports brings you today's action live. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. Looking at Sacramento, they want to turn it around after the loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia.
Yeah, major problems at the charity stripe in that game. They just could not convert their free throws.
And on the road, you're missing your freebies. How do you expect to come out of that scenario with the win?
Now Sacramento starting 5. Gay and Cauley-Stein fill up the forward spots. Collison is out there with Hield, and it's Kufis in at the center. Stolen by Gay. Inside, Collison. Green with the block. Brown right side. And there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Brown. At this point, Chris, would you say it is safe to say you can see who the true contenders are? Are we at that point yet?
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely see, and most of the times you know who they are at the beginning of the year. It's just up to them to prove you right or wrong.
Now here's Collison, and pushing it up, here's Boston. Smart passes to Horford. Back to Smart. Pass to Brown. Kufis grabs the miss. Outside Collison. Cauley-Stein dishes to Koufos. Gay left side. To the paint. Johnson over to help. Clock at 4. Healed with the bucket.
He can be a weapon if he gets going early from long range.
Don't forget about him when he's spotting up like that and knocking him down like that. The offense has to keep getting him the rock.
Now here's Smart. Last time out he had 13 points. Here's Horford. From deep, Green. No good there. Good work defensively by Gay. Now we'll go to DA, who had a chance to talk with head coach Dave Yeager. David?
Thanks, Kevin. He said, look, all they talked about before this game was defense. Going up against one of the best offensive teams in the league, he said, it's a challenge that we embrace. Nobody can do it by themselves. It's got to be a collective effort. No hero ball on offense either. Guys, we'll see if they can put the brakes on them. It's never easy. Back to you.
Thanks, David. That's a potent offense they're up against right now, and they know it.
Yeah, and that's why they've got to be ultra-focused at the defensive end right from the tip.
Well, they have some difficult questions to answer. Who do they double? Which shooters are they willing to leave open to do that? Or do they just play it straight up? We'll see.
Down low, here's Cauley-Stein, and Cauley-Stein throws it down.
Wow, at 7 feet tall, Cauley-Stein is a major threat to throw it down. If he gets the ball close to the rim, the D is pretty much toast.
Now here's Smart. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Brown kicks to Green. In the corner, Smart with it. No good on the triple. The Kings have gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Right side, Collison. Rebound by Johnson.
You can bet if he's left open from there again, he's probably going to knock that one down.
Over in the corner, Green. No good from outside.
He could not have been more wide open. I'm sure he's kicking himself for missing out.
The drive by Gay. Here's Koufos. Finds it again. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Well, free throw drops for Koufos. And Coach Koufos is such a valuable player to have off the bench for a team, Chris. Gives you spacing and size, and he really knows how to play within himself.
Okay, Koufos is usually productive in whatever role he is playing for a team. His versatility to start or to be the first big off the bench is really what makes him valuable.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. He'll think better of it next time around.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
To stop the run. Green missing again.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Gay kicks to Collison. A baseline J puts it up from 12. And Boston with the rebound. Johnson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Here's Horford. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And it had been something that had been talked about in the past via trade, but Al Horford joined Boston in the offseason via free agency. It was the fit that he wanted team-wise, and Horford was ready for a new challenge. So great fit with this roster and the city of Boston.
No good on the free throw. And Al Horford got a max deal to come to the Boston Celtics, GA. He's on the wrong side of 30, but when you look at his game, his all-star resume, you don't see a real sharp decline coming.
Great point, Kevin, and that's why the Celtics were willing to give Horford the contract they gave him. It was one of the bigger free agent names on the market. You knew that the Celtics would want to make a splash in free agency, and he was their guy. And for me, one of the more unsung players in the league, Al Horford, a two-time national champion at the University of Florida, one of the most skilled and versatile big men in our league, and he hasn't gotten the attention I believe he deserves. Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench if he keeps shooting it like that. He has been putrid here this quarter.
And with Horford's free agency looming this last summer, last season was a tricky spot for the Atlanta Hawks. Would they be able to keep him?
Yeah, and you go back to the lack of exposure he's gotten. I mean, from the Dominican Republic, he's a Spanish-speaking star. I mean, his marketing and endorsement potential in bigger markets, something he is well aware of.
And the first one at the line is good.
And we're looking at the last ever Prep to Pros draftee. I mean, Amir Johnson taken 56 overall by Detroit in 2005. He's been in the league over a decade now.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And with the Kings, Chris, playing in a smaller market, and you know about that market well, they rarely get a chance to make big free agent signings. I mean, what's been the key?
Well, it's something that just isn't present in any other NBA city. The Kings are the only ticket in town and are loved by the city of Sacramento. The outreach and community interaction the Kings have is absolutely fantastic, and you can tell the players know how special a place it is to play.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. For Boston, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein.
What's up?
And that one misses.
But we see Marcus Smart is still developing as an offensive player at the NBA level. But he gets onto the court with this intimidating defensive presence.
Now here's Collison. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. There's Smart. On the wing, Brown. That one, no good. And the Kings going the other way now. And the wide open shot from Collison gets the three-pointer to fall. Collison's got himself on the board with 3 there.
The three-point shooting of Collison is huge. It really stretches out the floor for the rest of his teammates.
And Smart at 6'4", 220, and sometimes a hot temper, Chris. He makes you feel him when he's covering you.
Well, that's his size and strength. But he's also quick. He fights through screens as well as any player in this league. He plays the game with tremendous effort.
Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here, and every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
The other angle is up to their aggressiveness on drives. They have to create the contact, maybe live at the free throw line for a while.
Well, let's take this chance now to bring up the rookies at the head of their class in steals this past month. Second is Buddy Hield. Third is Jaylen Brown.
The stretch that these two youngsters have had defensively has been great. I mean, they're like pests, and I mean that in a good way.
Here's Smart. Johnson the screen. Smart passes to Horford. Back to Smart. Shoots from the line. Misses off the right iron.
He's really had a rough quarter on the offensive side of the floor.
Collison inside. Guarded by Smart. Misses from short range. Here's Horford. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Chris, we're seeing more and more big men be able to face up and knock down outside shots or even three-pointers. In your mind, who's the best shooting big man in the game?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. You know, the best shooting big man in the game now, I say, still has to belong to Dirk Nowitzki. A jump shot does not get old, and even though we don't see Dirk do some of the more spectacular things he did above the rim and attacking the basket, that jump shot still is pretty, still is effective.
Good point.
And I still love it. So, to me, Dirk is still the best shooter in the game.
Great perspective. And a new group in for the Celtics. Olenek, he's checked in for Johnson. Urebko comes in for Gerald Green. Young's checked in for Brown. And it's Rozier in for Marcus Smart. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Labissiere's checked in for Kupas. Flalo comes in for Rudy Gay. Then McLemore, he's checked in for Hield. And it's Lawson in for Darren Collison. The Flalo kicks to Labissiere. McLemore with the ball. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia. Afflalo from 16 feet away, he cans it. Afflalo's got his first points of the night.
And the recognition of McLemore, a team-oriented player who is always looking to dish the rock.
Here's Urebko. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Aaron Afflalo.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Now, in 2013, the Celtics began their rebuild in earnest. Right away, they made some great moves hiring Brad Stevens from the college ranks to take over as head coach. And also, a terrific trade with Brooklyn, getting 3 first-round picks and the right to swap picks in exchange for Garnett and Paul Pierce.
First free throw is good. And you talk about that trade with the Nets. Looking back, what a trade for the Celtics.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, Brooklyn's run with Pierce and KG was short-lived, and as their fortunes have waned, it's been one heck of a windfall for these guys in green. So many young assets. You knew they had to make some moves just to fit their roster limitations.
Urebko hits them both. Sacramento leading by 6. Kicks it to McLemore. The pass to Tolliver.
Anthony Tolliver isn't a player most teams worry about in their scouting report, but he can hurt you if you give him space. He's a very strong shooter at the power forward position, and he commands attention.
The Kings shooting their second and third free throws tonight.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
And he makes the first. One is no good. Celtics trail by 7. It's rebounded by Labissiere. And with Tolliver, Chris, he is great in the pick and pop situations.
And Kevin, he's strong rolling to the rim as well. Not many power forwards can be an offensive threat in as many ways as Tolliver can in the pick and roll. Now, one of the more well-known players in the league, but there's a reason why he's always getting minutes.
And his eyes got wide once he got the ball inside. You just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Lawson outside. Afflalo outside. No good on the 3. Austin's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Young with the ball. Now defended by McLemore. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Lawson. And here comes Lawson, leading the fast break. Takes the 13-footer. Second shot opportunity. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. The Kings shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. That free throw good from Tolliver. Tolliver hits them both.
And how about the Celtics? Over the last 3 seasons, climbing up from a subpar defensive team to elite status. You look around the league, there may not be a better perimeter defensive trio than Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, and Jay Crowder.
Here's Young. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
He snuck underneath the bucket, comes out on the other side with a strong finish, sneaks underneath the bucket.
They set the screen, and Lawson with the drive, and Boston with the rebound. And as good as the Celtics have been defensively, Chris, Coach Brad Stevens thinks they can get even better.
Well, yeah, at times they've been a bunch of hacks. They still foul too often and struggled on the defensive glass. I think they needed more shot blocking inside. If they can address those issues, this defense could be scary.
Here's Rozier. Sacramento making their last shot. Here's Olynyk. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. Here's McLemore, and the layup's good off the glass. And now it's a 9-point Kings lead.
Oh, you can't forget about the speed of McLemore. Uses it so well on his drives to the hoop.
Here's Rozier. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, the numbers say it, Chris. NBA players have, on average, gotten bigger and bigger over the years. The game requires more movement. There's more movement on the offensive end, certainly, with teams now instituting different styles. Do you think that creates an issue of wear and tear, especially on the bigger players? And if that is the case, how should the league address that?
No, I just think wear and tear is specific to the individual, to the style of play of the individual, to the certain play of the individual. You know, it's not... I don't think you can just make a blanket statement and say it's too many games for everyone to play. Everyone is different. Everyone handles injury different. I think what we need to concentrate more on than the glass being half empty is the fact of what can we do better in the area of rest and recovery? What can medicine, what can science, what tools are out there that guys can rest and recover? Because the fact of the matter is, when it's over, it's over. And you're a young guy, you're playing, you have the energy. You know, I can't remember a playoff game ever being so tired that I couldn't play from wear and tear because these were the moments that we waited for. So this is the NBA. This is the toughest sport in the world. And part of that is the grind of the 82-game schedule. You know, I really don't see anything wrong with that.
Great answer. Well, it sure feels like more and more the league has demanded now more players with skill at every position. Guys, Chris, who can dribble and pass and shoot. Do you think you'd have been even more valued if you played in today's game?
You know what? Legend once told me not to kind of look back and compare or to wonder about what could have been. And I don't know. I do like the fact that when I had that skill set, it was appreciated by my coach, teammates, and some fans. But for most people back then, they would say you're trying to do too much, or it doesn't mean anything to have 5 assists a game or to get guys involved. And, you know, for me, I just thought that the more you can do, the better you are at all skill sets. The more you kind of make yourself valuable to your team, the more you should be on the court, and it validates that. So for me, I just took all my favorite players and I stole from them. I wanted to be like them, and I thank the generations that came before me that allowed me to see what the game should look like, and then, you know, add my own little style and flair to it and do my own thing.
Good point.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
For 3, Olynyk. That shot no good. So the Kings will take it the other way. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston.
Yeah, a quick 2-game series between the two teams, one in each club's home building.
Yeah, and because they don't see each other all that often, it's really hard to know what to expect out of this first game, but we'll see.
And so it's Boston with it, following Ty Lawson's 3. Zeller with it, now guarded by Labissiere.
Have to be cautious when Labissiere is in the area. Those shot-blocking skills are superb.
Lawson kicks to Labissiere, and Labissiere throws it down.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Well, they came to play today. It's still too early, but they really have put their foot down on their opponent so far.
Here's Rozier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Dishes to Uredko. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Count that bucket. And the Kings lead by 13.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
I mean, they've really owned this game so far. Dominant performance all around from them.
Here's Rozier. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Passes it to Olynyk. Offline with his three. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Kings ahead. They lead by 13. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler Bulldogs. He talked about the challenge of making that decision.
The only hard part of that decision is leaving a place that you really loved for 13 years. I couldn't have left without knowing that it was a place that we were going to stay together and really commit to a process together. And I was sold on that, and I continue to be sold on it.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks locked in his stockpile.
I know he's feeling real good about his decision. He's one of the bright coaching stars in our league.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And, guys, we've seen the Kings really take control here.
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
You're right. They've been extremely active, physical, really dictating the flow of this game.
On the floor for Sacramento, Gay and Cauley-Stein fill up the forward spots. Hield is out there with Collison, and it's Koufos in at the 5, roaming the paint. Collison's shot is good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it's always a transition and a difficult one for college coaches to come to the pros, but Celtics coach Brad Stevens made one of the smoothest we've seen after leading Butler to back-to-back national championship games. You hear that buzz from players to opposing coaches. Greg Popovich said, "I really respect what he does. His team executes. I'll still watch his Butler tape." Trying to learn some stuff, to be honest with you. High praise indeed, fellas.
And Popovich, really the godfather of the active coaches right now, D.A. His voice carries certainly a lot of weight in this league. Thank you.
And in a draft class full of great wing players, it is easy to sleep on Jaylen Brown. But he can become a great player. Has everything you want from a wing in terms of skill set and that physicality. He could have a ceiling just as high as anybody else in this draft.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. And here is Hield. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. A nice shot by Koufos.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Smart kicks to Green. Down low, Horford. And a dunk by Horford.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
So it's Sacramento now, after the basket by Boston. Collison dishes to Gay. Just 5 to shoot. Tries from 10. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
The scoring skills of Gay aren't just limited to the mid-range and his perimeter. This is a guy who can get it done from the inside as well, thanks to his fantastic length.
Now here is Horford. 10 points for him. Inside, and it's Green with the jam.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Collison, the pass to Gay. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. A nice shot by Koufos.
They are up in this game right now, and he is one of the reasons why, given his stellar shooting from the field.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Just not a disciplined performance defensively in that game, guys. A lot of silly fouls hurt them throughout.
Yeah, the silly fouls, yeah, true, but playing physical, being aggressive, positive things, but only up to a certain point.
And to look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for Boston.
And the one thing that jumps out at me when you look at that shot chart is just how little scoring they get from out above the free throw line extended three-point range. They've got to get more points from out high if they want to improve their offense.
Celtics trail by 15. Now here's Smart, picked by Horford. Smart kicks to Horford. Outside, Green. Back to Horford. And finished off by Horford.
Oh, man, Horford, I mean, getting loose out there, having a game for himself offensively.
Hield kicks to Gay. Cauley-Stein with the screen for Gay. No good with the triple.
He's just looked lost on offense, but luckily for him, his teammates have really stepped up in a big way.
Now here's Smart. He's covered by Collison. Now Brown. He's coming off a 16-point game against Detroit.
Don't forget, he also racked up 3 steals. He showed terrific anticipation and heart on the defensive end.
Here's Collison. Following the basket by Jaylen Brown. And it'll be Sacramento as it goes out of bounds. The Kings retain possession.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for Al Horford. He's getting around 20 points per, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's been a rock in the middle for them over that stretch of games. Dominating the glass is his trademark.
Now here's Collison. 14 points from him the last game against Philadelphia.
And where I thought he was out of his mind was the playmaking. Time and time again, he set his teammates up for the easy bucket.
And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Here's Smart. Johnson with a screen on Collison. The lead now in single digits. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Hield with it. Now the dish to Collison. Got a piece of it and taken away by Brown. For the finish, and Brown throws it down.
You gotta love how Brown finishes strong, driving fast and hard to the cup for the rim-rocking Shazam.
The feed now to Cauley-Stein. Pass to Collison. Five on the clock. Shot to stop the drought. Sacramento gets it back.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for them.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Here's Brown. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
Now, one of the issues the Kings have had over the last decade or so is that they haven't had much consistency at the coaching spot. That turnover is a recipe for chaos for a team.
And with the Kings, you understand the desire to go out and get the best coach for a team or to change things up.
Well, that's a big thing that nobody seems to understand with the Kings. In order to improve, you need to have some consistency year to year and make a commitment. You just can't blame it on the players if they don't have consistent leadership. Hopefully they can have a coach last longer than 3 seasons in the next decade for the sake of the players and the fans.
And Al Horford drops them both.
And the one thing I like with the Celtics, you see the chemistry and the continuity, not just on the court, but on every level. Coaching, front office, ownership, they're all on the same page.
Now here's Collison. 5 points in the game. And so the ball out of bounds. Collison touched it last. And let's focus briefly on an area we often overlook. Point guard rebounding. Here are the leaders in that category over the past 10 games. Marcus Smart on top.
And, well, rebounding isn't something you really think too much about with point guards, but he places a lot of emphasis on doing whatever it takes to contribute, even on the boards.
And it's really an added bonus for his team. Why? Because it takes all the pressure off the bigs to grab all the boards for them.
And for the Celtics as an organization, when you have that trust and that common understanding, Chris, that makes a huge difference.
Well, you have to give the leadership some credit because part of being a great organization is hiring great people and letting them do their job. Ownership and management are involved, but not overbearing. And forward thinking, this is a franchise that is exploring every avenue to find an edge.
Free throw drops for Al Horford.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
And so he makes both from the line.
Now, the Kings haven't had too many deep runs in the playoffs, but they have had some fantastic players over the years. Ever since their move to Sacramento in 1985, they've had some of the most exciting talent in the league.
Now here's Hield. He shoots again. A nice shot by Koufos. Koufos has got 13 points.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
Johnson with it. Defended by Koufos. They set the pick. Here's Brown. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. And Chris, I would agree that most fans would call you the greatest Sacramento King ever to play.
Well, you know, we've had some great players, and Oscar Robertson wasn't in that Sacramento era. I'm lucky for that because he's one of the greatest players of all time. And you can also make a case for Mitch Richmond. His teams didn't win, but he was an incredible scorer.
That free throw good from Brown.
And Brown is just an exceptional player. Really love whenever he shows off his athletic ability.
So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Zeller, he's checked in for Johnson. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Al Horford. Young's checked in for Green. And it's Rozier in for Smart. And Brown drops them both. And when you talk about a player having an NBA-ready body, you want them to have the strength to compete with vets right off the bat. And make no mistake about it, Jaylen Brown has an NBA-ready body.
I'm just not sure the NBA is ready for him. I mean, he is a physical monster. Takes contact like defenders are insects and can still finish strong through the foul. Has a combo of speed, strength, length, and endurance that you rarely see from a player his age.
Gifted scorer around the rim. Olynyk can finish over either shoulder, and he's got great touch.
Here's Lawson. It's deflected. Dives for it. Brown outside. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. It's on Aaron Aflalo. And Chris, for the Celtics, a depth of talent, great coach, but they admit they've been looking to get that transcendent player to take them to the next level.
Well, I know this for a fact. You can go a long way with chemistry and depth, but it's tough to win it all without a superstar player or two. You know this front office will continue to be aggressive, looking to position themselves for a run at an 18th championship.
And he makes the first.
Well, after getting to the stripe in the first quarter, he's definitely been more assertive driving inside.
That one drops. He ties it up.
And another disappointing season for the Kings last year. They fell out of the playoff race early on. They just couldn't keep pace with the rest of the conference.
Labissiere, no good. Boston shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. To the middle, here's McLemore. A stupendous finish in traffic. And the Kings lead by 2.
And just dropping the ball down inside, a timely assist.
And while the Kings were improved last year, it didn't seem like they made much headway towards their ultimate goal.
Well, right now, they seem to be lacking a direction for the team. There's an air of uncertainty about who they want to build around. They will need to answer some hard questions in short time.
And here's Lawson. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. He feeds it to Afflalo. Back to Lawson. 5 to shoot. Stolen. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. And Brown throws it down hard.
Oh, you gotta love the explosiveness. Brown just eating up any lane to the basket he sees.
Lawson outside. Afflalo outside. Off the pick. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Afflalo's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Now, I'm not saying that was the best play call, but that's certainly the desired result.
Brown the pass to Rozier. Back to Brown to the wing on the left. And it's Rozier missing. The Kings shooting around 41% on the night. Lawson in the corner. Lets the 3 fly. Hits it from 3-point range. Lawson's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
And it seems as if someone got their signals crossed. If he can wind up that open from 3-point range, I'm sure that was not a part of the game plan.
The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. Jerebko's checked in for Brown. Well, Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, maybe the closest, Chris, we've seen to Dirk Nowitzki when you talk about 7-footers who can space the floor.
Well, he's a 7-footer now, but he grew up playing guard before he had that late growth spurt. You just don't find many players at his size with that kind of shooting and fluidity with the ball. I think his agility at his size is probably the most underrated aspect to his game.
Rozier. It's rebounded by Labissiere. Labissiere's got his 4th rebound in this one. Young's shot is off.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
That's what I'm talking about. That's just picture-perfect defense there. Really stifled this man and gave him no chance at a clean look.
Here's Rozier. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Olynyk. It's rebounded by Labissiere. Labissiere's got rebound number 5 here tonight. That one drops for him. And the Kings lead by 2.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Rozier kicks to Zeller. 1:25 left now here in the second. Soft touch off the glass. Zeller's got it all tied up now for the Celtics. Lawson outside. Down low and stolen by Zeller. Young in the corner. Count it. Young's got the lead up to 2 now for the Celtics.
And with his size and length, when Young can get it in the lane, I mean, he has the tools to finish.
Feeds it to Labissiere. He kicks it to Afflalo. Off target from 3-point range. Boston shooting straight 49% from the field. To the inside. It's stolen by Labissiere.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
In situations like this, they don't necessarily have to rush the shot, but they should try to get a fast, easy look at the basket here.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And here's Olynyk from the arc. The shot, no good. And for Sacramento, they're shooting 44% from the floor since we began the second quarter.
Total breakdown on defense there, but fortunately, he missed out.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Here's Rozier. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Olynyk. Lost it. No good that time either. And the first half comes to a close in a tie game. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, a back-and-forth game through the first 2 quarters. Where does your team need to be more consistent in the second half?
Well, I thought we really guarded from about the second quarter on. You know, hopefully we can continue just to kind of grind. It's a tough game for us, and we're just going to have to figure it out.
One possession at a time. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. Al Horford putting in some incredible work tonight. He had 16 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. After missing last game, it was clearly evident he wanted to make his mark tonight. Taking a look at the Celtics, Shaq, what do you think?
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
And over to Kenny now. Your take on the Kings.
Well, their success was largely about second chance points. They crashed the offensive boards heavy in the first half. I love how they fight for every 50-50 ball like it's the last ball on earth.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Al Horford has been sensational.
Well, anytime you can get to the free throw line with that kind of consistency, that just makes every other facet of the game easy.
Slashing hard to the bucket in the first half, almost looking to draw contact. You love that kind of fearless play.
Green is out there with Horford. Then it's Amir Johnson. Then there's Smart, and it's Brown in at the 2 spot. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. From 17 feet out, Smart misses. King shooting around 41% on the night. Here's Hield, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Hield's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Kings. Here's Johnson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And when you take a look at Amir Johnson, he was signed as a free agent by the Celtics. Now, he had been a fan favorite in Toronto, much beloved in the locker room. But persistent ankle injuries gave the Raptors front office some concern.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And with Amir Johnson, no disputing he's been a quality utility guy with a great upside. But, Chris, do you think the doubts about his consistency were founded?
But you know what? He only missed 3 games last season, so I don't know if I'd agree with all the rumors. By all accounts, a class act and a great teammate. The Celtics were happy to have him, and I would think looking to resign him after this season.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. And Amir Johnson, a darling of the analytics stats people. He ranked as a top 6 power forward last season in a stat called real plus minus, Chris.
Well, I got a stat call I really don't care because I definitely don't necessarily believe in those analytics. You have to have a common denominator in each situation, and you just don't have that in analytics. But he just knows where to be, and he makes winning plays. The per-game numbers might not blow you away, but this is one of the guys that get the job done on both ends of the floor.
Gay can't hit. Boston trailing. To the middle. It's tipped. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations.
And these sorts of nights can happen. I mean, an extremely rough outing from him in terms of his efficiency. And at this point, the only thing you can hope for is to try to get into some sort of rhythm. Get a couple in a row, try to get to the free throw line, and build some confidence.
Now here's Smart following the shot by Rudy Gay. And the shot goes in.
You better get your money's worth with Marcus Smart. I mean, that ticky-tack stuff won't fade you. Now, when you think about Marcus Smart, the 6th overall pick by the Celtics in 2014 after 2 seasons at Oklahoma State, shooting has been the question mark. Those percentages are definitely not pretty, and it's about shot selection as well as his ability to knock them down.
Now here's Collison. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Here's Koufos. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. We'll think better of it next time around.
And for Marcus Smart's improvement as a player, Chris, what do you think is the first order of business?
I think it's the shooting. This team has other players who can distribute the ball. Whether he ends up playing point or off the ball, his ability to score efficiently will be critical.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, the league and NBA teams have become much more aware of protecting players' health, and they're finding out that rest and sleep are a huge part of that. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr said medicine and science have improved, and thought processes do as well. He said in the old days, guys played 48 minutes. Well, we've made advances. We don't go backwards with this stuff. We go forwards. Guys, that's why they want their players off their feet as much as possible.
Good report, DA. Thank you.
And the skill Collison has inside, so great at catching the D off guard when he's down in the post.
Now here's Smart. He's covered by Collison. Smart kicks to Green. Picked by Horford. Green dishes to Horford. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Cauley-Stein's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Koufos. He can't get that one to fall. Good work defensively by Horford. The Celtics with the lead. In the corner, Smart with it. Koufos with the block. Here's Hield. And that one hits back iron. The Celtics have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements here.
Is he trying to get a shoe contract deal? Because he's showing no interest in moving the ball right now. He's trying to make a one-man commercial. He's just content to try to get his points, and that's all.
Boston's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Green passes to Horford. Here's a peek now at the 2K leaderboard. This year, these teams have made the most of their offensive rebounds. 4th, the Kings.
One of the better rebounding teams in the league, especially on the offensive end. They never take that for granted in terms of whether the shot's going in.
First one falls for him.
And Horford, a pretty steady free throw shooter. I mean, he had a few down seasons, maybe due to those pectoral tears, but I tell you what, he's been right up there around 80%.
And Al Horford drops them both.
Not your run-of-the-mill big man from the line. This guy can stroke it.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Collison. A rebound by Johnson.
Well, he hasn't gotten much to fall, and it's costing his team dearly.
Horford kicks to Smart. Count that bucket. Smart's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Just too physical. Smart shedding the defense and finishing strong.
Collison dishes to Koufos. They set the pick. Game. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
Not really nice there. Poor technique on the screen, but savvy scoring move to save that trip down the floor.
Johnson the screen. Smart passes to Horford. Back to Smart. And it's Sacramento with the rebound.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Shot by Hield, nobody around, and they're unable to get the tying basket there.
one made three for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
And Kings head coach Dave Yeager spent 9 seasons coaching in Memphis, 3 as the head coach, and helped them establish one of the top defensive reputations in the league.
Well, even before he took over as head coach in Memphis, he was a defensive coordinator of sorts, the architect of their defense from 2010 on. Just as important as his schemes, though, the Grizz always played hard for him. Grit and grind. That's what the Kings need.
Celtics leading by 3. Now here's Smart. He's got 9. Horford kicks to Green. High arcing shot, and Gerald Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Jerebko's checked in for Boston. The Kings trail by 3. Collison dishes to Gay. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Healed the pass to Gay. Offensive rebound, Cauley-Stein. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, when you think of Cauley-Stein, the word length comes to mind. A huge target on offense and a tenacious shot blocker and rebounder on the defensive end. Now, Willie Cauley-Stein was considered a bit of a reach for his draft position, but you have to love how he plays at his size. Very active inside with his feet to flash open on cuts. Just shows great awareness for a new player in the league.
And that one falls for Cauley-Stein. Well, you hate to use the P word, potential, but you can't help but do it with Willie Cauley-Stein.
You're right, Kev. I hate the word potential as well. It just means unrealized talent. As long as he moves as well as he does with his size, he'll be fine.
Now here's Smart. Johnson kicks to Smart. Back to Johnson. Over in the corner, Green. Smart dishes to Horford. 5 on the clock. Here's Green. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Cauley-Stein's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. For the lead, another miss by Gay. Boston's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Shot on the wing. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Cauley-Stein's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
No reason he couldn't have taken more time and finished that one off. Disappointing miss for sure.
Healed, can't hit.
Another miss, and you have to wonder if this just isn't his night.
Johnson, the pass to Smart. To the inside. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
The focus from Horford, just shrugging off the foul for the and-one finish.
Boston making some changes. Olenek, he's checked in for Johnson. Young comes in for Green, and it's Rozier in for Marcus Smart. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Labissiere is checked in for Kufas. Flalo comes in for Rudy Gay. McLemore's checked in for Heald, and it's Lawson in for Darren Collison.
Well, there is a lot of hope for Labissiere, the Haitian product via Kentucky, but that's for down the road. This team got him knowing he'd be a long-term project. Has the upside to be a fantastic player, but it's going to take a lot of work and patience for him to get there.
And the Celtics making a change here. Zeller's checked in. Now here's a Flalo. He has 6. Here's Rozier. Screen by Young. Here's Rozier. Lawson defending. Here's Jerebko. Again, the miss by the Celtics. And Labissiere, a high-risk, high-reward pick for sure. He's shown flashes of what he can do at times, but at times he can look overwhelmed.
Yeah, he had a tough time, I think, adjusting to the college level in terms of the speed and the athleticism that the game is played with, but still declared after just 1 year. Usually you want to see more on the collegiate level from a player like him. All I can do is hope for the best for the young man, but it's not going to be an easy path to start him.
And that one falls for Zeller. And Celtics coach Brad Stevens, a big believer, Chris, in keeping things as simple as he can for the players.
And very focused. From the first day when he took over, he showed the players the numbers of where the team had to get better. Just as important, he showed them how thin a margin separated them from being the top seed or missing the playoffs completely. That breeds confidence, but also focus. They realize how every play matters.
It might be some time before Skal Labissière reaches his potential, but you can see that his team drooling over him on draft day. It's rare to see a player so big, with so much length, be as mobile as he is.
I mean, he moves so fluidly on both ends of the court that he is a tough player to contain. I mean, has continued to add mass and bulk, so he's getting stronger every month. Reminds you a bit of a young Amari with his explosiveness and how he can move at that size.
Here's Rozier, Lawson defending. And the basket by Rozier. And the Celtics lead by 6.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
It's deflected. They get it back. Lawson kicks to Afflalo. Good ball movement here by the Kings from outside the arc. They get it again. Tolliver dishes to Labissière. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
Can't let Labissière get that close to the bucket. Just using that massive 6'11" frame to get a quality attempt.
Here's Rozier. Zeller, a screen on Lawson. Rozier, the pass to Zeller. Misses in close.
The defender stayed on him without fouling and did great work there.
Labissière kicks to Lawson. He dishes it to Afflalo. Baseline jumper. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Now just a 2-point Boston lead.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Isn't that when you use your other skills like your mindset? That's just a high basketball IQ play right there. He knew he was no match inside. So what did he do? He pulled his defender out farther from the hoop.
No good on the free throw.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier. That's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
He hits the second from the line. The Kings trail by 3. Pass to Labissière. There's a good screen. Follow against Zeller. Lock at 6. The baseline J. That doesn't go either for Lawson. Celtics leading by 3.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
That free throw, no good.
Wow, and James Young, the lefty out of Kentucky, a capable scorer with a 7-foot wingspan, trying to put it all together.
And the second free throw, good. And here are the Kings now. Following this game, they hit the road. They'll take on the Knicks in New York. And they're playing through a string of road games. That will be game 5 of the 6 on the road. The pass to Rozier. Kicks it to Zeller. Now Uredka. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. The Kings trail by 4. To the paint, here's Afflalo. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. Lawson's got his 7th assist in the game. Inside, here's Zeller. Doesn't go that time. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. Lawson dishes to Labissiere. Aaron Aflalo again. Aflalo's got the game tied up here for Sacramento.
And every once in a while, Labissiere will find his teammate for the high percentage shot. Love to see the big man dish it out.
Now here's Olynyk. He's got 7. And the dunk by Olynyk.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Here's Lawson. 8 points for him. Labissiere, the pass to Aflalo. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And we take a look here at the shot chart.
And there isn't a whole lot of positive that you can take away from his performance from the mid-range game so far. A lot of chances have come up empty for him, but he seems intent on taking jumpers out there. Something's got to give.
First free throw is good. And so Aaron Aflalo nails both of them.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Here's Rozier. Dishes it to Olynyk. Picked by Zeller. And Olynyk kicks to Zeller. 5 to shoot. Here's Jerebko. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. With this break in the action, here's a look at the teams that have blocked the most shots in the NBA this last month. Number 1, the Kings.
They have been racking up the blocks lately. I mean, if they keep this up, they're going to be a very difficult matchup for anybody.
And he knocks down the first one. Jerebko hits them both. The Kings trailing. Labissiere in the corner. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Boston's getting blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. The Kings have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
That free throw good from Tolliver. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. There's 42 seconds left in the third. Rozier the pass to Young. There's the dish to Jerebko. And stolen by Aflalo. He's got a clear path. Here's Labissiere. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And he's got his first chance at the line here. And that one falls for Labissiere.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Rozier kicks to Zeller. Down low. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Rozier.
Oh, Kevin, nice unselfish play from Zeller, finding the open man.
Lawson with it. 1 second left. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Kings lead by 1. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And now let's take a listen in to a recent huddle from Coach Dave Yeager.
Stay aggressive, keep them moving. Don't let them stand and get set up and scheme up.
And that's Dave Yeager laying out the key points for his team over this next stretch.
Yeah, I mean, he really wants the ball and his guys to remain in constant motion. Keep the defense on defense.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for Sacramento, Gay and Cauley-Stein fill up the forward spots. Collison is out there with Hield, and it's Koufos in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And when Gay is nearby, you have to be aware of his vertical. He really rocks the rims on these jams.
Brown outside. Passes it to Horford. Smart, wide open, he fires. Connects from three-point range. Smart's got 10 points here in the second half. Outside Collison. Shoots from 12. And again, it's Rudy Gay.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Now here's Smart, guarded closer. There's the feed to Johnson. Pass to Horford. And the dunk by Horford.
Well, you know what? I like Johnson's unselfishness, ready and willing to move it to the open man.
The Kings shooting 40% from the field. Collison kicks to Gay. Back to Collison. Out to the right wing. For the three. Some solid defense from Brown.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Oh my gosh, he's really playing poor out there. It might just not be his night.
Kings have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Outside Collison. He feeds it to Hield. Clock at 4. Lets it go from deep. And Rudy Gay with the three. And the Kings lead by 3.
Well, he played very poorly in the first half, but during the second half, he's feeling it. He's really flipped the on switch and owned it.
Smart dishes to Green. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
That's what you call freestyling, getting improvisational. You can do that when the defense is nowhere to be found.
And it's the Kings with the ball. Outside Collison. Here's the teardrop. Here's Cauley-Stein, and Cauley-Stein throws it down. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 14 rebounds.
Oh, man, the relentless pursuit of the basketball by Cauley-Stein. Just a tremendous hustler on the offensive glass.
There's the pick. Horford the pass to Brown. Down low, Green. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. Here's Collison. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. And Hield with the basket on the assist from Cauley Stein. That's 7 points for Buddy Hield.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
Johnson the screen. Feeds to Horford. He kicks to Green. He dishes it to Smart. And it's Sacramento with the rebound.
He may have been trying to work too hard to draw the foul as a result. He misfired on that one.
Wasted no time on that one. Now it's a 6-point Kings lead.
If you give him the space, he can really burn you from out there.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Green kicks to Smart. Picked by Horford. Smart dishes to Green. And stolen by Gay. Here's Collison. And it's sent back by Horford.
Wow, the rim protection by Horford. I mean, Al Horford standing 6'10", always played bigger.
And so here's Sacramento. 6-point game. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
And that one falls for Cauley Stein. For Boston, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Now here's Smart. He's covered by Collison. Looking to end the run. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Cauley Stein. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. The Kings making a switch here. Labissiere's checked in. The first one falls. And so he makes both from the line. Sacramento leading by 7. Pass to Hield. The tray. But they recover it.
Oh, tough play underneath there to give them another possession. Just what they were hoping for. A little more time off the clock.
Green against Gay. Green, the pass to Brown. It's tipped and stolen by Koufos. And now here comes Gay leading the break. 16 feet away. And Boston with the rebound. Horford's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And it's good for 2.
Credit the D for being right on Brown. Ultimately, though, he's just too crafty and too confident down near the hoop.
And here is Hield. Kicks it to Koufos. And Boston with the rebound. Johnson's got 8 rebounds in this game. Now here's Smart. He's covered closely. There's the pass to Green. Dishes it to Brown. 6 to shoot. Back to Green. Stolen by Gay. This year kicks to Collison. Stolen by Smart. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. And Green slams it in.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. Here is Collison following the bucket by the Celtics. Poked loose. Stolen by Smart. Takes it from 10. And off the front iron. And in it goes. Smart's got 12 points here in the second half. outside Collison. The dish to Gay. Ball's knocked loose. Collison the pass to Kufis. Here's Hield. Sacramento again missing.
Jeez. Maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Yeah, didn't it seem like it just a pretty thoughtless play on his part? All style, no substance.
Sacramento leading by 3. Lets it go with the 3. Good, and the assist goes to Collison. And that's now 10 points for Buddy Hield.
Oh, I love to see the selfishness from Collison. Really whips the ball over to the open man quickly.
Smart kicks to Green. Down low. Here's Horford. And that's collected by Gay. Sacramento's gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the 4th. Pass to Hield. There's the screen. Off the pick. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And one thing you have to appreciate about Rudy Gay is just how fearless he plays on the floor. He goes right at defenders and loves to finish with a dunk. He's very aggressive in every aspect of his game, from offense to defense.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And with Gay being so aggressive, Chris, with this play, you see it in all sorts of places, like his defense.
Well, Kevin, perhaps the biggest place you'll see this fearless mindset is in late-game situations. He has hit a lot of late-game winners and clutch shots in his career. Not always perfect, but he is never afraid to take the last shot.
Now, here's Olynyk. Cans it from downtown.
Wow, you can't leave him open. Olynyk will knock it down every time.
Sacramento leading by 5. Now the feed to Labissiere. Off the screen. Green with the rebound.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Oh, no, you're right. It's selfish on his part to attempt that. Should have passed it back out and tried to get a better look.
Here's Collison, and he comes up with the deuce. Collison's got 5 points now this quarter.
Great instincts on the assist. Times that play perfect.
The Celtics have gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. Been some solid looks for them. And they're pushing it up. With some arc. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Horford. Here's Brown. And the shot falls short this time. And for Sacramento, they're shooting 40% from the field. The putback. They shoot again. And it's Kufis missing.
As soon as he made his drive to the bucket, the defense jumped right in and prevented him from finishing that one.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
Gay with no one around. Knocks down the 3-ball. Gay's got 14 points now in the second half. Now a timeout called by Boston.
And one thing with Rudy Gay is that you know what he's going to give you each game. One of the more reliable scorers in this league.
And Chris, for Rudy Gay, he's reliable. Game to game as a scorer.
And you sure can't overstate how important that is to a team. You always want to have someone that can get buckets every night. Rudy Gay has been that guy his whole life.
Aaron Aflalo is checked in for Sacramento. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens was talking about with his players. He said, do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back, guys.
And Brown drops them both. Kings leading now by 8. Collison dishes to Gay. Pass to Kufis. Aflalo sets the pick for Hield. He feeds it to Gay. Shoots from 14. And it's Gay again missing.
A key rebound there, but they can do a little better on the glass here down the stretch.
Pass to Horford. Takes a shot at the elbow. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Horford's got 6 points in the quarter.
How about these big shots for him in the fourth? He has been locked and loaded offensively.
Collison with it. Out guarded by Smart. Aflalo with a screen on Green. Gay outside for three. And it's Gay again missing. Celtics trail by 6. Here's Smart. No good with the triple.
And that shot isn't the one they should be taking if they want to make this comeback happen.
Here's Hield. Again, the miss by the King.
And maybe, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to ease up off the three.
Here's Horford. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got assist number 8 now on the night.
Oh, and that's what you expect from your star players. I mean, Horford turns it up, including coming through with the big key bucket.
Gay, and then Gay with the dunk.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Puts it up from 12, and so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that brings them within 5.
And he wanted all of those, trying to fight their way back into this.
Shot from free throw range, and it's Gay again missing. Boston's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Feeds it to Horford. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, and Horford doesn't always shoot a lot of free throws for a star big man. You'd like to see him getting that respect from the official.
And he makes both free throws.
Great players understand the situation. Close game, he rises to the challenge.
Now here's Collison. Gay outside, a 3 ball. Another miss by Gay. Celtics shooting in the fourth quarter has been efficient at 56%. Here's Smart. Nails it! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
That was massive. Huge play there. You gotta love this game.
Gay kicks to Hield. Baseline jumper, and the shot is long.
Hard to tell if he's just lacking energy in the second half, but it does not look like he's himself. Well, turn up then, and Horford, one of the great leaders in the game. Sometimes you gotta lead by example, especially in the cup.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They're behind by 1. There's 37 seconds left in the game. Celtics making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. There's 37 seconds left to play in the final quarter.
Oh, the confidence of Collins is really commendable. He really takes the responsibility of delivering the clutch very seriously.
Smart passes to Horford. Can't hit the turnaround jumper. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And he commits the intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
In the 6', 175-pound Collison is a vital part of this team. A speedy point guard who can get hot in a hurry.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're losing by 2. 19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, what do you think?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this?
If possible, I think you run something that you go for the 3. Take the best shot available.
19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Smart kicks to Horford. Sinks it. He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
The defense is key here.
Timeout called by the Kings. The score knotted at 117. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Heel dishes to Gay. Fires from deep. Knocks it loose. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After regulation, the stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams and these few minutes of basketball pan out. And so off the tip, it's Boston. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court right now for the Kings. Collison is out there with Heel. Then there's Rudy Gay. Then there's a follow. And it's Kufis in at the center, filling out the middle.
Hey, and while Horford can space the floor, I like him getting inside and using his strength to force the issue.
And he makes the first. And Al Horford drops them both. The Kings trailing. Now Heel. They set the pick. Off the pick. The offensive rebound. Kufis the pass to Gay.
And when it comes to athletic small forwards, Gay is the cream of the crop. An aggressive player whose reach really helps him on both offense and defense.
No good on that one. And he sinks the second. Celtics shooting here about 46% for the game. Now here's Smart. He's covered by Collison. Smart with the ball. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. And the Celtics lead by 3.
And I love Smart pressing his advantage on the interior.
Collison kicks to Gay. For 3. Another miss by Gay. Austin with the ball. Over in the corner, Brown. Kicks to Johnson. Here's Smart. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And the first one drops.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Marcus Smart might be the most physically imposing point guard in the league, especially with his fiery approach to the game.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
the focus. That trip to the line, they'd come away with a 2-possession lead.
Count it, and the Celtic lead has been cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Darren Collison. About 90 seconds off the clock here in the extra period. Johnson the screen. Smart kicks to Horford. He dishes it to Green. And a pass to Smart. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Collison. Drills the baseline jumper. Collison's got the game tied up here for the Kings.
Well, Kevin, that's the kind of player Collison is. He values the opportunity to score in big moments like this.
Now here's Smart. He's covered by Collison. Smart dishes to Johnson. And Johnson with the stop.
Oh, that one was key. I mean, nice bucket by Johnson.
Here's Collison. We're in overtime if you just joined us. 2.5 minutes through it. Here's Gay, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And the foul goes against Boston. That free throw good from Gay. And McLemore, he's checked in for Sacramento. And so Gay nails both of them. On offense, here are the Celtics. It's overtime basketball, folks, if you're just tuning in. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Here's Brown. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
I mean, really, that's just sheer tenacity. Brown exploiting the D with his drive and making them get physical with him.
The first one falls. No good on the second free throw.
And he gives them the lead. Successful trip, despite the one miss.
Collison, the pass to Gay. To take the lead. And an air ball on that one. Way off. The Celtics with the lead. Here's Smart. He kicks it to Horford. Outside, Green. Back to Horford. Koufos grabs the miss. Koufos has got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place. And for 3, Collison hits it from 3-point range. Collison's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Kevin, watch out when Collison gets in the zone. He's dangerous. He just has the ability to get any shots he wants.
Here's Horford. Here's Smart. Another shot and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Koufos, and so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Labissiere is checked in for Costa Koufos. First free throw is good, and that narrows the gap to 1. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. Here's Gay, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
The length that Gay has poses so many issues for defenders, especially when he's going up with the shot.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And that trip coming up empty, missing both. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 4 on their shots here in overtime. That's good from Horford on the assist by Brown. Horford's got 40 points.
Really good work on the interior. That is a critical 2 points there. That was an ideal scenario really for him. Point-blank range and also a size advantage.
Now here's Gay. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. There's a minute left to play in the first overtime. Green kicks to Horford. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay. Here's Green to the inside. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and Drew the bonus will be headed to the free throw. First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. Getting both at the line. It's a 3-point game. Timeout called by the Kings. They're behind by 3. There's 47 seconds left in the first overtime. So it's Sacramento. And it's Gay again missing.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. We'll think better of it next time.
And there's the foul, and Darren Collison picks it up. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
That's a great effort at the line, making it a 2-possession game.
Timeout called by the Kings. They're trailing by 5. 29 seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. Now here's Gay. This is to Labissiere. Left side Collison. Knocked loose. And now they decide to foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Tolliver kicks to Collison. Here's Hield. This year dishes to Tolliver. Here's Hield. It's money from deep. And so they foul intentionally.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly what was necessary once we got into OT.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Al, congrats. Tough game tonight. When do you think you guys really locked in and started taking control of the game?
It all started the second half. We didn't do a good job the first half. We let them hang around. But, at least we reacted better the second half. This is one of those games that we just had to, will our way to win this.
A lot of games like that, you have to kind of just grind out, Al. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Al Horford. Tonight he put up his high for the season. Found his rhythm, never let up. Just a terrific scoring effort all the way around.
Well, not much has really been going good for this team lately, so for him to have a game like this is big. They gave him a little bit more responsibility, and boy, did he run with it.
Well, what I like about Al Horford is his basketball IQ, and that was on display tonight, guys. I mean, look, he has great understanding of the game for the power forward position. His skills and his smarts are unmatched.
And that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. See you again soon.